Hope you all are doing good. So far we have seen how we can write a simple mutation queries and how we can write the fragments as well. So in the mutation queries, we have seen how we can insert a data, how we can update a data, and how we can delete a data. So for that, we have used the GraphQL request for the automation side, and we have automated the mutations and the simple queries and the fragment using that particular library. So you have seen that whenever we are writing a spec file, we are writing the spec file in a single file where we will be writing everything. So consider this particular mutation param spec.js where we have written our spec. So one thing you will see here, right? So I am writing a lot of logic inside it. So there is no reusability. In the sense, this is a data means if you see generate random name, right? Generate a random rocket. So if this needs to be reused across a different spec file, I am rewriting the logic again. So you can see the maintenance and the reusability cost is very high. So how we can overcome this problem, right? So going forward, we will be seeing how we can create the reusability, how we can reduce the maintenance cost, and how we will be able to reduce our efforts of writing the spec file as well. So we'll be see how we'll create a framework in which we'll be writing our reusability and we'll be maintaining those particular spec file as a part of that particular framework. So for that, let's try to create a new folder. I think I have already created a new folder known as GraphQL framework. You can see in my Visual Studio Code. So first of all, I have already told you whenever we have a empty project, first of all we need to create a package.json. So to create a package.json, we have a command npm init. So let's create it. So let's the package name like this version, description say GraphQL framework for automation 2. Entry point, let it be like this. Test command, let it be like this. Git repository keywords, say GraphQL framework. You can define its keywords is like an array. You can define comma separated value here. GraphQL framework, GraphQL request. And if you want to add certain keywords so that you will be able to search accordingly, you can just add it here. Author, I will put my name. License letter. So is this so this is like a final version of the package.json that would be created for us. So yeah, I want this. I will say yes, and it will create a package.json for me. Now you will be seeing all the things which are highlighted on the console. So if you want to see the same thing in console, you can just cat package.json. You will be able to see. So this data will be exactly the same order the data you will be seeing here, right? Now to write a spec file, if you guys are aware from the Java side, if you have worked on the Selenium WebDriver and all, so there's a two testing framework we generally use for writing our specs or tests, right, which is test, ng and the JUnit. Similarly for the Node.js, we have other testing frameworks known as Jasmine, Mocha and Jest. So we'll be using Jest going forward in our videos or while writing our framework. So let's see what is Jest and how we can install it. So I will switch to my browser and we'll see here, right? So this is like an URL for the Jest to get started. So Jest again in the testing framework which provide a certain thing for us which will be helpful while testing our functionalities. So let's see how we can use this. So first of all, you need to install this by using the npm install command. Then this is a format that we'll be using to write a particular spec for Jest. So let's do one thing. First of all, let's try to install it. Okay. So let's copy this. Now you can see there are the certain things you can define the configuration as a part of your config.json, but these are the things which will be discussing in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so scope of this video is like how to create a basic setup for your framework and just to make you comfortable with the just testing framework. So let it install first. So if you want to learn more about these things, right, you can definitely go to the web and search about the jest. You will see a lot of things in this particular documentation provided by the jest. Almost you can get everything. So there are the certain things, right, you can learn here. These are the matchers. So I will be discussing more about this in this particular video. What are matchers? Setup and tear down. These are certain kind of hooks available as a part of your jest testing framework. You can test asynchronous code as well. So using async await, which is like a modern way of handling the promises, you can use async await with the jest as well. So these are the certain things that we'll be needing while writing the spec file. So we'll more focus on the setup and tear down, test and asynchronous code and the matchers. These are the things which we will be frequently using while designing our framework or while writing a spec file using the jest. So I think the installation is done. You might be able to see in the dev dependencies I have installed jest. Now for one thing, what you need to do while creating the package.json, we have left the script part as empty, right? Yeah. So for running this, what you need to do, you have to just say test. That's all. No, sorry, not test, jest. Right. So these are the things again which you can see. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So you have to just add test. That's all. Test as jest. That's all. Okay. So again, this can be anything, right? So you can say jest test. So then your command to run this particular specs will become npm run just test. So let's make it test only because it looks good as well. So now let's do one thing. Let's create a spec file with the name demo.test.js. Okay. So first of all, what we'll be doing, we'll be defining a describe block. Okay. So in the describe, consider if you have worked with the BDD, means I will give the analogy, say the feature will be your describe block, where you will be writing what all the scenarios you are going to cover as a part of this feature. So for test for just functionality, cool. Now let's do one. So this is again, it will take a callback function. So it is an arrow function, or if you just want to give like this function callback, you can just give this as well. Okay. So I prefer to use the arrow function. So let's go with the arrow function only. Then you need to say test. Okay. So in the test, you will be writing what is the scenario for you, right? So scenario will be like scenario 1, let's say print data to console. Okay. Again, it will take a callback function. Either you can define the arrow function, or you can use function, right? So let's switch to the arrow function. Now say console.log my first test in jest. Good. Yep. So now let's try to run it. To run it, you need to run the command npm run. So you know, right, we have created a script here which is like test. So I will just say test. So you can see, right, in this particular scenario got passed. So consider if you want to write another scenario, you can write another scenario like this. Okay, so now so test, let's rename this as test, add functionality. Okay, so make this scenario as 2. Now let's do one thing. Let's try to print const sum equal to 2 plus 3. Let's print sum. Cool. Now let's see what will happen in this case. It will just execute 2 scenarios for you, right? Now let's see another thing, right? Suppose if you rename this particular spec file to demo.js. Now what will happen? You might be wondering why I have named this as demo.test.js, right? So I think you will get the answer as soon as I will execute my script. So now I will try to run my script again. Right? So you will be seeing something test match, right? So what happens in this case? So by default, Jest will try to see the files which have the extension test.js. Okay. If it does not find any file with the name with the extension as .test.js, it is just showing you. It is going to show some error like the file doesn't found for you. So in this case, it showed like 3 files checked. So the 3 files were like demo.js, package.js, package.json. Now if you run the same script again, so it will be able to run it for you. Again, these this test.js and everything, it is possible also to change, means to tell the Jest that search for only specific extension as well. But for that, again, there is something that I told you previously we will be discussing in the upcoming session. So I will, for a reference, I will just show you. This is like a config.json file where you can, what you can say, override the certain configuration from the Jest. So there is a certain documentation on itself again. Right. So running from the command line, if you run all the tests, it will say test Jest, right? And again run only the test specified with the pattern or file name, right? So if I say Jest a particular file name or like this, it is going to run this particular stack for me. Okay. So again, there is a certain configuration that anytime you can come to the documentation part and see. Now let's switch back to a Visual Studio Code and try to do some other stuff. So consider a function, right, which might be needing in both the tests. So consider about this only const sum equal to 2 plus 3. This is the thing which are required to use across the different tests in a describe block. And consider I have 5 to 6 tests. So I cannot keep writing something like this, right? So for that, what we will be doing, we will be creating a reusable function and be calling in our test blocks. So how would I do that? So let's create a particular sum function. What it will be doing, it will be accepting 2 parameters for me and returning the sum for them. Cool. Now we can call this method something like this. So you can accept it, accepts the 2 variable. So let's do comma 3. And if I print total, what will happen? Right, it prints 5. Now you might have noticed one thing, right? When we are doing we are sending the request in the last videos as well, we are sending a request and getting a response, and we were seeing, right, we are getting the data there or not. But there was no way from the code, means no reusability from the code, or there was no code that will be testing whether the data actually came or not, right? How will you test that particular thing from your side? So there are certain things known as assertions. So using the assertion, you can assert the data. Suppose you send a request and you want something to appear on the response, right? So how would you respond? How would you assert that data? So there should be some actual value and there should be some expected value. Then only you can do assertions, right? Then only your test will be what you can say very solid for you, and it will give you a good results. So for that, how to implement the assertion? So there is something known as matchers in the Jest. So I will switch back to my browser again and we'll see the matchers part here. So you can see, right, we have something known as matchers. So how to use that? So expect 2 plus 2 to be 4. So this will validate the data with 4 is equal to 4 or not. So let's try to implement the same thing again in our code. Right? So instead of doing the console.log, we don't do a console.log, right? It's not a good practice to do a console.log when you are writing your test. Otherwise, you will get some linting errors if the linting is already being done as a part of your project. So in the real-time projects, we never do a console.log and we never check in that as a part of our GitHub or GitLab, whatever the subversion we are using for our code management. So let's say total P5. Right? Now let's execute it and see whether it works or not. So you know the assertions passed here. What if I put as 7? Now in this case my assertion will fail and it will show me the exact error what I am getting. So it will show you at what line you are getting the error and what is like a received and the expected. Right? So the received value is 5 but we are expecting the 7. Okay. So this is how you can use the assertions, and there is something known as hooks also. So let's switch back to the browser again and see setup and here. So there's like a before each, after each, right, and before all and after all. So what is before each and after each? So let's say before each. So before each will be executed before each test block for you. So it means it will get executed two times. So let's try to see that whether it will be called before each test block or not. Before each test block. So let's execute again. So you can see before each, 2 times before each got executed. Right? So now let's see what is the use of after each. So after each will be get executed after each test block. So it means 2 times it will get called. How it will happen? So before each will get invoked before this, and as soon as the execution will be done, the after each will get invoked after this. So let's try to see this as well. See before each test block, right? That's fine. Now again my first test in Jest, which will this one, then after each test block, right? Then again before and after. We are not doing in a console.log, that's the reason you are not getting it. Now let's say another thing which is before all. Okay, so let's see. So there are the certain configuration, right, one-time configuration that you need to do as a part of your feature or as a part of your test. Those all the things you can add it as a part of before all, and all the reusability, all the prerequisite which you want to run before each test block you can put as a part of your after each. Right? So let's see console.log. Now you will be seeing before all the spec file got executed. So the scenario on the Execution ladder will be like this. Before all will be called first, then the before each, followed by the test block, followed by the after each. Okay, let's see. Before all, before each, my first test, after each. So you can see before all is executed only once. As soon as the after each is done, so the before each for the second test block get executed, right? Now similarly goes with the after all. So how the after all works? After all will be getting executed after all the test block has done their execution. Right? Now let's see again. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. After all, before all, two times before each, two times after each. Right? So this is like how the things work in case of setup tear down hooks. So these hooks we call right as a setup and tear down, whatever they have just shown in here, right? So this is all from like setup and tear down. There is like testing the asynchronous code as well. So for if you want to test asynchronous code, what you need to do, you have to just put async, and you can call in conjunction with await, right? Something like this. Just telling you. Suppose consider this particular test. Yeah, as a async function. Okay. So to call this method, how you will be calling this? So it should be something like this: await, and it should be async. Okay. So this is how you will be calling it. Async means this is what you did. You just make this particular reusable function as a asynchronous. Okay, and to resolve the promise, you have to use await. So async and await used in hand to hand. You cannot use await without async. If you use it, you will get some error. So you can see, right? Code executed. What happens if I remove await from here and try to do it? Yep. So your test will fail, right? Why? Because you have not resolved the promise. So to resolve the promise, you need to put await in front of it. Now the promise is resolved. Another way of doing it using the then right. You might heard about then as well. So you can say result if you say console.log. This is another way of resolving the promise, right? But I don't prefer to use, I mean most of the people don't prefer to use like this way. So but in this case you cannot directly use like this. So async and await is like a very simplest way to resolve the promise for you. So we will be using like async and await if we are dealing with the asynchronous code. So that's all from my side for this particular video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone.